Ladies and gentlemen, Louie Anderson.
Was that kid Miles and Kyle, right? Yeah. This was Miles. They did a good job. Believe it or not, I was also overweight as a child. Isn't that crazy, that thought? You just never know. One thing that's really spectacular is Kyle Cease really is taking time and giving something that very few people would be willing to give you. That's really good. I've been watching that, and you're not going to get that from other people. You're just not. And so, sorry, but that mic was in my way. So I'm going to talk, and Miles, that was really good, what you did. That was painfully reminiscent of all of us that want to be something, right? And we pick comedy. But I'm going to talk practically for you guys, because that's where it's at for me. Like, I'm going to tell you some practical stuff and then answer some of your questions. But I was thinking, what would I come here and talk about? And I thought, I don't really know shit, you know? I don't know what to tell you, except I know what practical things to really tell you. When you go to AA or NA or OA or GA, any of the AA group things, the first thing they tell you is to go to 90 meetings in 90 days. And as soon as I heard that, I said, well, fuck you. I'm busy. You go. But there's a point to what they mean by that. Two things: that you do it, that you do something like that. And when comics have always asked me since I've become successful, what could I do to become a better comic? And I always say to them, perform 100 times. Just get 100 performances in the smallest amount of time that you can. It's really important that you exercise a muscle that can only be improved on stage. You can't practice your way into being the comic you want to. I don't care how many mirror situations you got going. You have to be up on stage. You can't do it. You can't practice your way into comedy. You have to perform. Because a comedy is not a one-way street. Comedy is two ways. It's that audience and that timing, and getting the idea down about where you're going and your cadence and all those things. And it's honest to God, it's a muscle. Like I probably do about 200 and some shows a year. And when I'm doing 5 shows a week, I am so good. Like, I'm really good, and I go, I'm good. And it feels good, and that's what we're trying to do here, is I believe comics are trying to feel better. I believe that reason you do comedy is because you want to feel better. Because I think that comics, for the most part, I think my friend Ed Driscoll, who's here, a very funny comic who might come up and talk, he sent me a thing from Chris Rock that said comics were mostly uncomfortable. And I think there's a lot of truth in that. But to get back to what I'm saying is, if you're really serious about this, if you're really honest to God serious, if this is something you really want, it has to be monumental in your mind and in your life. It can't be secondary. It doesn't share with anyone else. It doesn't care about your relationship. I'm just telling you. It doesn't care about other people. It's an all-consuming, egomaniacal experience. It's power. It's top of the world. That's what you want. This is all about power, in my opinion. And the performance is, manifesting who you are and what you have to say. Because the second part of what I'm going to talk about, and first of all, just to go back to this thing, I cannot stress to you enough how many times and excuses you can have for not wanting to do it. I know those open stages in LA, they're shit a lot of times. I've done them. I've eaten it bad. I've just died a dog's death. After 20 Tonight shows, I still died a dog's death because I was not concentrating on my intent for that night. Like, let's say, like I just made that joke up by, comics are always making jokes up. So that joke that I made up was first, Miles said he was a fat kid, right? Right, Miles? And then Kyle said it, and I said, well, that's a joke. And it's about working out those jokes, and you have to go and work them out. And you do not have to work them out for the response, although it would be the preferable thing. You have to work them out so that you get used to saying them under all conditions. Like sometimes I'll get a corporate gig for a lot of money. And I hate that. I'm terrified from the moment I agree to do it. I go, I know it's a lot of money, but it will be a group of people who have gone to a place for a weekend from a company, and they will have a big dinner. First, they will go all week and do this shing-shang stuff, to learn about their company and all that stuff, and then they'll have a banquet or dinner at the end of it. And then after that banquet, where they went, I don't know what they're expecting, but I hardly ever think they're expecting to see me. Like strippers or a singer, but a comic, I'm not always sure that they are. And I have already defeated a big part of my performance. And so that's such a bummer. And when I talk, I know I'm a little all over the place right here because I'm kind of excited about the idea of talking about the thing that I do for 30 years. So bear with me if I'm a little all over the place. Or not, whatever.
You are, dude.
But I did earn it, didn't I? I had some bad shows. Everybody's had bad shows. That's where you learn everything. You don't learn one thing on a good show. You don't learn one thing when someone comes up to you and goes, great show. What do you learn shit there. You don't learn anything. You know what I learned? One time a guy said to me, Louie, because I wasn't always a comic who did family and nice stuff. I was a little mean. I would talk to the crowd and it was a little caustic. And he said to me, Louie, if you would just do that family stuff and talk about your family and be clean, you'll become famous. And why I was listening to him, I have no idea. He was a nice, sweet person. He worked at a little club with us in Minnesota. But I don't know why I was listening to him and it clicked in my head. And that thing will click in your head. That thing that Kyle says to you or someone says to you will click. Because what you're going for in those 90 performances or 180 performances is to find your point of view. Like when Miles was talking about how he felt and what he wanted to say and how he wanted to say it, he was looking for his point of view. My point of view is I want everyone to love each other. I come from a really unloving family, not intentionally, just really crazy. My dad was a drunk. My mom was a food pusher. That was her job. You hungry, Louie? We just ate. You look a little hungry. And that was her thing. Her thing was to love us through food, so it worked. I am in love with food. And so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to fix that situation. I think comics are trying to fix their situation. I think we're all trying to, hey, fix this thing that we have going on that people don't, because I don't think people understand comics necessarily. How many of you have been working as comics for more than a year? Okay. How many of you also are in a very successful relationship? So you have a few? That's good. But those two things, are you able to talk to the person you're in the relationship with about the comedy?
Yeah.
You are? Are they a comic?
No.
Wow. Are they an artist?
No. Well, no. But I met her at a show.
Oh, she's a groupie then? No, it'll be okay. I mean,
She made it through the cracks.
she made it through the cracks. I don't know what that means. But never ask a question of an audience member where you don't have a better answer. But anyways, I'm getting a little off track. But what I want to talk about is a little bit as a point of view. My point of view comes from my family and the fact that I'm fat and that I love food and that I want you to know I'm well aware of being fat. My first joke I wrote was, I can't stay long, I'm in between meals. It was a really good joke then. It's still a really good joke. The second joke I wrote was, I was the first kid on the block voted most likely to become a group. You know, right? Like those were just so obvious fat jokes, and I wrote them because I knew that if I disarmed the audience, that would, work to my advantage. And what do you think? Are people aware of their point of views yet? Do you guys think about your point of view? Do you think about what you're trying to say? Yes? Some people? It's open. You can just say if you do. Do you know your point of view?
Yeah.
What is your point of view?
I guess I don't know.
No. Well, like you have cuddle on your shirt.
That's very
good.
misleading.
Oh, it is?
No, I don't know. I'm like starting to find my point of view like here, but basically like, I don't know, I'm just really young and I like tried to grow up too fast and now I'm like having to deal with that and I want to talk about it and let other people know about it so they don't do that.
That's good.
Yeah.
And so you do, you're trying to help people.
Yeah, of
Comics
course.
are dangerously
Addicted to other
addicted
people.
to helping people. They want them to feel better.
Yeah.
But I only think comics want them to feel better while they're on stage, and then they never want to see the people again. I think it's the most fantastic relationship you could probably have. You probably couldn't ever get closer to the group of people you're performing for than for that time that you're up on stage. You're as close, you're connected, they've seen into your soul, you are sharing yourself with them, but then boom, it's over. And you go, back and eat something. No?